beautiful day out here in Aggie Land, 110 degrees. Warren, what do we got going on?
Let me tell you, this is looking like a great day. We're going to have prayer, we're going to have Bible reading, we're going to have worship, we're going to have testimonies. It's a great day for college football. I mean, college ministry.
All right, and who's your game day pick?
Well, for this game day pick, I think I have to go with the team that's most ready, Joel Bratcher, our director.
All right. Well, joining us today, we have our very own BSM director. We're going to go to him for more details.
Over to you, Joel.
We are so glad that you guys are joining us for our journey finale. I wanted to let you know a little of the reason why we're doing this. Obviously, the year hasn't ended the way that any of us expected or hoped it would. But if there's one thing that we've learned, it's that God is faithful and He's good in all circumstances. And so tonight is about really, number one, worshiping and thanking God for the things that are very obvious and some of the things that maybe aren't as obvious. It's also a chance to celebrate the year because there have been a lot of great things that have happened this year. A lot of ways that God's worked in your lives, the way that God has not only shaped your life, but also used you. And so tonight we're going to worship, we're going to celebrate in that way. We're going to hear some testimonies and take some time just to focus on the Lord and His faithfulness.
So I came into my freshman year not really knowing at all what the BSM is or what Journey is. But looking back, I can honestly say that joining my Journey group is the best decision I've made in college. And honestly, it wasn't even really my decision. It was something that the Lord just very evidently had for me. And He has shown me so much of who He is through the people in my Journey group and just their hearts for Him in all things. It's been so sweet to just know them and be known by them. I think that He has really grown us from, just a group of friends into a really strong community of believers with Christ at our center. I can honestly say that the people in my Journey group are my best friends and really my family in college. And the Lord has just shown me so much of who He is through these really wonderful people. He has grown me specifically in so many ways through Journey and through my Journey group, and He has also just grown so many people that I know and so many of my friends through this ministry as well. He works in a lot of really powerful ways through Journey. For me, my time in the Word at the beginning of freshman year pretty much just looked like Bible study with my Journey group on Thursday nights, and that was it. But it was at those Thursday night Bible studies that I really learned that God's Word is life-giving, and I wanted more of it for myself. And so He really just started a desire right there at Journey to be in the Word more. And so those Thursday night Bible studies quickly grew into daily time in the Word. And I was also constantly encouraged by the people in my Journey group to spend time in the Word and to get to know God more through His Word. So that has been very sweet. He has also shown me so much of what victory means and what it looks like to walk in the victory of Christ. And He has very much used my Journey leaders in a lot of ways to show me what victory looks like. There's no doubt about it. I'm better because I know my Journey leaders. They have pursued me so faithfully with so much joy and with so much love. They truly do love so well with the joy of Christ in their hearts. And they have really faithfully walked beside me as I learned what victory is, as I learned what grace is, and slowly but surely came to accept these things for myself. They never stopped pursuing. They have been selfless through it all, and they have just sought to show me so much who Christ is, and they have really just led me to the cross in so many ways. It has been so sweet to be a part of my Journey group, and I have seen God work so powerfully through the lives of just my closest friends, and it is really, really a blessing to just see Him in these wonderful people that I am so blessed to know. So I'm really glad that I did Journey this year. I think that God used it in a lot of really powerful ways to show me who He is and what it looks like to walk with Him, and specifically what it looks like to walk with Him in college. And I know that He did the same for a lot of my sweet friends in Journey. Yeah, I've said it before and I'll say it again. He works so powerfully through this ministry, and I am so, so grateful for Freshman Journey.
Praise be to you, Lord, the God of our father Israel, from everlasting to everlasting. Yours, Lord, is the greatness and the power and the glory and the majesty and the splendor, for everything in heaven and earth is yours. Yours, Lord, is the kingdom. You are exalted as head over all. It's 1 Chronicles 29, 10 through 11.
Worthy of every song we could ever sing, worthy of all the praise we could ever bring, worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. Jesus, the name above every other name. Jesus, the only one who could ever save. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. We live for you. Holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder. Show me who you are and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me. Worthy of every song we could ever sing, worthy of all the praise we could ever bring, worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. We live for you. Jesus, the name above every other name. Jesus, the only one who could ever save. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. Oh, we live for you. Now sing holy, holy. There is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder. Show me who you are and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me. Holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder. Show me who you are and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me. And I will build my life upon your love. It is a firm foundation, and I will put my trust in you alone, and I will not be shaken, and I will build my life upon your love. It is a firm foundation, and I will put my trust in you alone, and I will not be shaken. Holy, there is no one like you. There is none beside you. Open up my eyes in wonder. Show me who you are and fill me with your heart and lead me in your love to those around me.
So this past spring break, I had the blessing and the privilege to get to serve at Beach Reach. And I got to see over the course of a week, the Lord move in so many awesome ways. And just one specific example is with my encounter with a guy named Eric and his friends. So one of the first couple of nights, Eric hopped into our van and we were giving him a ride back to his hotel. And over the course of the ride, I got to have a conversation with him. And we got into spiritual topics pretty quickly in our conversation. And a little bit into it, he told me that he felt this kind of brokenness and emptiness on the inside in his life. And so through that, I got to share my testimony with him and how a couple of years before I walked through the same thing, but the Lord gave me victory from that. He delivered me, gave me freedom from the things that were making me broken. And so he was really interested in that and started asking me about that. And I got to walk through the gospel with him, share some scriptures and stuff like that. And the whole while, he was very receptive and interested in all of it. And so he was interested in accepting Christ. And I got to lead him through a prayer in that. The thing was, he was still a little intoxicated when we were having that conversation. So both of us wanted to meet back up and talk through everything again. And the next couple of days, we actually weren't really able to meet up. But then on his last night in town, he actually gave me a call. And he was like, hey, me and some friends are going to Whataburger. Do you want to join us and talk about Jesus? And I'm like, yeah. So we meet up and he pulls me aside and he says like, I think this whole encounter that we've had is a wake-up call from God that I need to start living my life for him. And I'm like, that's awesome. And so we went into the Whataburger and hopped in line, and he was asking me the whole time all these great questions. He had this idea growing up in the Catholic Church. He had this idea that we are justified with God by our own righteousness. And so I got to explain to him that it's by grace that we are saved through faith, not by works. And got to walk him through that and explain what that means and what that looks like. And then he asked me how we can be a new creation, as I told him that we are, but still have sin in our lives. And so I got to explain how there's still this battle that goes on with sin, but at the same time, we are no longer slaves of sin, we are slaves of righteousness. And I got to explain him all of that and how through what Jesus has done for us, there is no condemnation, as Romans 8 teaches. And one of his friends asked me, I was sitting down with about 4 of them, and one of his friends asked me also, like, is it enough to like do good deeds, or do we have to do good deeds through the lens of God? And my answer was, it's neither. Isaiah 64 teaches that our good works are filthy rags before the Lord. And so it's not about what we do, it's about what God did for us. And so just that whole time, and this is over the course of hours engaging with these guys. And even while we're sitting in Whataburger, I look around and notice that a lot of people in their conversations, they're starting to slow down and people were actually paying attention to everything that was going on. And as I reflect over that, I just see how the Lord perfectly lined things up and orchestrated them in such an awesome way. And so the thing is, my encouragement to you is to just give the Lord your yes and see what he does with that. The Lord doesn't call those who are equipped to serve. He equips those whom he calls. So I want to just encourage you, give the Lord your yes, and it'll be exciting to see what he does with that.
Community group is a place where international students can go to kind of just have a group of friends. Coming to America for the first time and not knowing anybody can be a really, really lonely time. And so community group exists to make that transition a little easier.
It's a group of international students and American students that meet together to share life with each other. It's all about building strong relationships and trust. So we would meet each week at someone's house, have a meal together, and then have a topic of discussion. So in the fall semester, those discussions usually looked like sharing life stories, getting to hear about sweetest friendships that people have had, people who've played significant roles in their lives, talk about family traditions and culture, things like that. But the conversation would always turn to Jesus. We would get to just like share our faith in those moments and just like really share what's important in life with each other. We would also share experiences and go do things to check off of our group bucket list, like going to the pumpkin patch, carving pumpkins, learning how to make homemade dumplings, going to the park to hang out, things like that, so we could just get to know one another.
So every Wednesday in community group, we meet up and we'll have a dinner together, and we'll just kind of talk about our ups and downs of the week, and we'll go over a proverb. And I think Proverbs is just a really good book to go over for this group because, you know, some of them have grown up knowing Jesus, and others, this is very new to them. And so because Proverbs is kind of general wisdom, it's kind of, it's been really cool to kind of see how we can all relate to what the book of Proverbs says. Usually we'll do like an icebreaker question, and then we'll go over a story from Jesus's life. And so we've gone over parables, we've gone over the story of his death and resurrection. And so we've just kind of gone over a lot of those types of stories. And
I think each person in our group has expressed that community group is just the thing they most look forward to each week, that it's the best part of their week and that they really just miss those friendships that have been formed. It's been really cool to just see how like friendship has turned into fellowship with a lot of our friends, because some of them entered in knowing the Lord, and then others experienced Jesus for the first time in community group. But you can definitely see that God's hand was at work, just tilling their soil and preparing it for the good news of the gospel that was planted, and a lot of them have received and have just like really grown throughout the course of this year, and have come to know the Lord and are faithfully following him. So yeah, it's just been really, really cool to see what God has done and how he has used community group.
God has been working in community group by kind of bringing together this group of international students kind of from all over the world, and just giving us like a really fun environment to get to talk about Jesus with people that we trust. I think one thing for me that's been really cool to see is seeing the international students kind of get introduced to the concept of grace, and that nobody is better than anybody else, or nobody can earn their way to heaven, but that that God is all that we need, and believing in his son, believing in Jesus is what saves. And so I think that's just been really, really cool to see a lot of people working that in their head for the first time.
To me, community group is a bucket filler. It is the most encouraging part of my week. I feel like I leave each week learning something new about Jesus. Just through the conversations that we have, I feel like, God has just like really grown my faith and my trust in him through community group.
Community group means to me just a really, really amazing family. I think it's just been awesome just what each person in the group contributes, and it's just been like a really, really, really fun time. Where two or more are gathered in his name, there he'll be with us. And so I think that I really see that in this group. I really can see that Jesus is working in everyone's life. And I think that when we come together on Wednesdays, it's a time where we can all kind of see that in each other, and we can be praying for each other and just kind of celebrating what God has done in our week and what God has taught us in the week.
If any of you guys want to start doing life with international students, and you're wanting to grow in your faith and learn how to share your faith and articulate different parts of the gospel, you should consider joining a community group, because it has been the sweetest part of my year, and I highly encourage it.
Hebrews 12:1-2. Therefore, since we are surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses, let us also lay aside every weight and sin which clings so closely, and let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is seated at the right hand of the throne of God.
His only Son to make a wretch's treasure. How great the pain of searing loss! The Father turns His face away, as wounds which mar the chosen one bring many sons to glory. Behold, a man upon a cross, my sin upon His shoulders. Ashamed, I hear my mocking voice called out among the scoffers. It was my sin that held Him there until it was accomplished. His dying breath has brought me life. I know that it is finished. I will not boast in anything, no gifts, no power, no wisdom, but I will boast in Jesus Christ, His death and resurrection. Why should I gain from His reward? I cannot give an answer, but this I know with all my heart: His wounds have paid my ransom. But this I know with all my heart: His wounds have paid my ransom.
Howdy, my name is Kaylee Vessels.
Hi guys, I'm Cassidy Tuggle.
Howdy, my name is Emily Vaughter.
Howdy, my name is Allison Vickery.
Jackson Merritt.
Jake Billings.
John Sanford.
Caitlin Markham.
Katie Pierce. Madison Hutchinson.
Michael Horn.
Maddie George.
Hunter Wright.
Victor Fontenot.
Johnny Ennis.
Riley Dunson.
Alexander Markham.
Chipper Adams.
Megan Lauderdale, and I am class of 2020. My major is horticulture and I'll be graduating in May.
Class of 2020, and I'm a biochemistry and genetics major graduating in May.
And I am a senior biomedical engineering major graduating in May 2020.
I am class of 2021, and I'm a communication major graduating in August.
I'm a psychology major graduating in May, finally.
Mechanical engineering major that will be graduating in May.
I'm the class of 2019 and I'm graduating with a degree in nuclear engineering.
I'm a computer science major, class of 2020, graduating this May.
French major, class of 2020, graduating this May.
I'll be graduating in May, class of 2020 with an MIS degree.
And I'm an accounting major and MIS graduate student, graduating this May.
Class of 2019, I'm a mechanical engineer graduating in May.
Class of 20, I'm a business management major and I'm graduating in May.
Class of 2018, and I'm a Master of Architecture student graduating this May.
I'm a senior education major graduating in December.
I'm an elementary education major, and I'm moving back to do student teaching in Louisville ISD in the fall before I graduate in December.
I'm class of 2021, and I'm a communication major graduating this May.
I'm an applied math major graduating in May.
And I am a senior education major. God has used the BSM to teach me about surrender. There have been so many perfect examples set through the BSM of what it looks like to die to ourselves daily and seek first God's kingdom.
God has used the Aggie BSM in my life to give me some really good friends and introduce me to cross-cultural ministry, where He showed me just how fun it is to join with Him in His mission in everyday life.
When I think of the Aggie BSM, I just think of God's faithfulness and sovereignty and how, despite our brokenness, He still chooses to use us to carry out the gospel.
And I would say that God has used the Aggie BSM in my life to build lifelong friendships and to show me practical ways of living missionally and sharing my faith with others.
I think God really helped me grow through the Aggie BSM by giving me a community unlike any other that I had before.
And when when I think about the BSM, I just think of a place that makes Texas A&M seem a lot smaller, and it just feels like home.
I'm super thankful for the BSM because of the incredible opportunity that it has provided me to serve, meet the needs of, and even just be impacted by all the international friends and students and family members that we have here in the Bryan College Station community.
And when I think of the BSM, I just think of tons of laughs and good times with people from all over the world, and I'm just super, super grateful for my time that I've had here at A&M with the BSM.
And when I first joined the BSM, it gave me a chance to join community. It gave me a chance to grow closer to God through that community, and I wouldn't trade my experiences at the BSM for anything.
When I think about my time at the BSM, my favorite memories were the missions trips that we got to go on. I went on one with the BSM and then two with Go Now as well, and I just really loved those chances to get to learn more about sharing the gospel and reaching the nations.
God has used the BSM in so many ways, but one of the big ones is going to be community in my life for sure. I've made lifelong friends through the BSM. God's shown me his character through all these amazing people, the people who are going to be my friends moving into my adult life and my career. And so I can't be more thankful for God bringing those people to me through BSM.
When I think of the BSM, I think of brotherly love and community and all the ways that God has used people from the BSM to teach me about himself and what it looks like to live out my faith.
God has used the Aggie BSM to teach me what true Christian community is, as well as molding me to be more courageous and comfortable with sharing the gospel to strangers and friends near and far.
One of the ways that God has used the BSM in my life has been just really cultivating a sense of Christian community that I've been missing for a lot of my college experience.
And when I think about the BSM, I really think about the way that it has become a home away from home for me. In college, I have absolutely fallen in love with everyone that I've interacted with. I love all of y'all so, so deeply. Y'all have really become some of my best friends, and I thank you so much for that. I'm going to treasure these relationships even after I move away to Seattle, and I'm really going to use all the skills that I learned at the BSM over in Seattle, where people are a lot more unreached up there.
And something that God has taught me through the BSM is just the urgency of the gospel and how special a community of believers can be.
And something God has really shown me through the BSM is just the importance of community. I have met some of my favorite people here, and they have really helped me grow and understand more about what God wants for my life.
When I think of the BSM, I think of all of the opportunities that I've had over the past few years to invest into the lives of the international students that have come through the BSM.
The lesson that I learned most from the BSM is how important it is to be in community with other believers and what it means to be in community with the Lord and all of the wonderful memories I've made.
I love y'all. Thanks and gig 'em.
Thanks and gig 'em.
I can't thank you guys enough, and I love you so, so much. Thanks and gig them.
I keep asking that the God of our Lord Jesus Christ, the glorious Father, may give you the spirit of wisdom and revelation, so that you may know him better. I pray that the eyes of your heart may be enlightened, in order that you may know the hope to which he has called you, the riches of his glorious inheritance in his holy people, and his incomparably great power for us who believe. That power is the same as the mighty strength he exerted when he raised Christ from the dead and seated him at his right hand in the heavenly realms, far above all rule and authority, power and dominion, and every name that is invoked, not only in the present age, but also in the one to come.
Great is thy faithfulness, O God my Father. There is no shadow of turning. thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me.
We have a few announcements for you. What would Journey be without announcements? And there you go. First of all, I want to say a big thank you to several people that really helped make this possible. One is Johnny Ennis, who's filming right now. Also Hudson Rayleigh and Alec Autry, they're doing all the video for us as well. And then John also for helping with worship tonight. We're really grateful for those guys. The other thing I want to do is I want to say a big shout out to our seniors. And we are, number one, we are so proud of you and so thankful for you because you guys have invested so much in the kingdom of God through BSM, and we're grateful for that. We normally have a big celebration for you, and I wish we could do that like we normally do, but I do want to let you know that this summer, if graduation happens in August, we're hoping to have a dinner for you guys that are coming back into town. We also are going to have some gifts we're going to be sending you, and we want to stay connected to you, and we want you to know how much we're just thankful for you and grateful for all you've done, and we want to stay connected. So please stay in touch with us over the next year and years to come. Another thing I want to do today is I want to say a huge thank you to Mackenzie and Avery, our CMIs that are moving on this year. We're so thankful for them, for all that they've invested in our lives and also in all of you. And we're going to miss them greatly, and we're so thankful for them. The other thing I want to do is let you know about leadership. Many of you have already committed to serve as leaders next year, and thank you for doing that. Thanks for doing Zoom interviews, and I know it's been kind of random, but it's worked out great, and we're pumped about having you back for next year. We also want to let you know we are going to have a leadership retreat on August 14th and 15th, the Friday and Saturday before Howdy Week, and you'll be getting more information about that. Also, it's quite possible that with the randomness of everything that we have missed some interviews, or maybe you want to do leadership and we didn't know it. Please let us know. It's not too late, and we still have a place to plug a lot of people in, and we'd love to talk to you. Finally, one other thing I'll tell you. Your summer plans may have changed. I know there are people that internships have changed, working at camps may be changed. I want to let you know this. This summer, if you're looking for a way to be involved in kingdom ministry, there are still some ways to do that. Alec Autry and Emma Herring, they've become involved with something Donnell's doing this summer, and it's called Mission Lab. They're going to actually be here in College Station doing ministry, doing other things, and they're going to be part of a team of students from around the state that meet together for training, and but then doing hands-on ministry. So if you are interested in doing something like that, let me know. Get hold of me. And there are also some other chances around the state where ministries are looking for people, and we'd love to connect you. And especially if you're in Dallas or Houston, there are some great places that people are looking for help. Thanks.
We also want to let you know that BSM definitely will be continuing this summer. Our plan right now is to have Tuesday night Bible study. We'll be starting when summer school starts on the last week of May. So we're hoping as things open up that we'll be able to have a group gathering here safely on Tuesday nights. But if you're not here in College Station, we will also be doing that virtually through Zoom. So be looking for more information about that, about how you can be a part of BSM Summer Bible Study. There's also going to be opportunities this summer to do ministry with international students. There's still a lot of international students here in Bryan College Station, and if you're going to be here in College Station and would like to be a part of that, we're going to be doing an English class or two and also doing some community groups, just doing whatever we can to stay connected with our international friends. Let us know. We'd love to get you connected with that.
We also have a lot of really big plans for next year coming up, and we would love to connect with incoming freshmen. So class of 24, if there's anybody watching this, we'd love to connect with you. As for everybody else, if you know anybody who's in the class of 24, if you could contact us and let us know how we can best connect with them, maybe somebody from your hometown, somebody from your home church. It might be good to ask your youth pastor if they know anybody coming to Texas A&M or Glenn in the fall. If you do know somebody, we're going to have a Google form set up. There's going to be a QR code. You can take a screenshot of that and go ahead and follow the instructions to register with us and let us know how we can get in contact with you. Thank you.
And the last announcement is that BSM needs your help. We are wanting to post some of your personal stories about how the BSM has impacted you on our social media. So if you have a story that you want to share, maybe it be from a spring retreat or a pancake breakfast, maybe just a story of your journey group and how you got to know others in it, we want you to share that story with us. You can send an email to connor@aggiebsm.org. You can also attach a picture with it, a picture that goes along with your story, and maybe your post will be shared on our social media. Connor is Connor, no E. And that's all. Thanks.
Now we're going to take some time to pray over Muzzy and Avery as they end their time here at the BSM as interns, and also take some time to pray for everyone watching this video. Bow your heads. Dear Lord, I just want to thank you for Muzzy and Avery for the service that they have given to the BSM, to students, and just thank you for the heart that they've shown for your children, Lord, and thank you for their ability to just go out and be missionaries on a college campus. Thank you for giving them just a heart of generosity to give up a year in their life just to give back to you in order to spread your word, Lord, and to help other people come closer to you. I ask that as they go out into the world, into whatever positions that you have for them, Lord, that they keep your word at the forefront, that they be reassured by your promises, and that they remember that you will not forsake or abandon them, Lord. I also want to pray for all of the students watching this video as we have the summer season coming up and there's a lot of uncertainty about what to do, about what life will look like, Lord. I just ask that you also remind us and everyone watching that though the world may change and though we may even change, Lord, that you are never changing. And just remind us that you are steadfast, you are steady, Lord, and you are eternal. And that even though we may not know what life looks like or what the world may look like, Lord, you do, and you know what's best. And I just ask that you continue to guide all of us in your wisdom and give us hearts of humility to listen to your message, Lord, and to be guided by you and to be counseled. Continue to reassure all of us in the times that we need to. Give peace when we have anxiety, Lord. Give love whenever we don't feel it. And just also continue to allow us to spread that love and peace to other people, Lord. Because even if life stops, Lord, you don't, and your mission never stops. And it's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
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 Well, thank you for coming back and for joining us during our final journey. We hope that you were so encouraged getting to hear so many testimonies and that you got to really meet God in worship. Thankfully, it's not over. We have a part 2. Muzzy, why don't you tell us more about that?
Yeah, guys, we're going to have a Zoom party. So this is going to be with your class here, and there's going to be a link around this screen somewhere for you to hop in on a party with your class here. This is going to be a time for you to catch up with each other and reminisce over this weird semester. And for Avery and I, this isn't goodbye. This is a see you later. And we both want to say, have a great journey. Yay! You all did good.